So I'll start it now in 3, 2, 1. Hey you guys, what is up? This is SuperGirlKels. Thank you guys so much for coming out to another Monday video where every single Monday is at 5 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. We upload content related to gaming, news, interviews, art, and more that you can't get anywhere else. And I got 3 lovely guests with me today. I've been dying to do this interview for a really long time. You guys gave me really good feedback when I interviewed Leo a few months ago. And this is a topic that means a lot to me. And I know to a lot of women around the world. And in other words, of being fed up in certain cases, but also just like trying to spread positivity, but also inspiration to those who may be shy to come into the community because of their gender. And I think it's important that we like talk about it. There's a lot of people in this community that are really scared to talk about things. And there was a lot of things that happened last year that came out because they were scared to talk about it, right? And it's important to be open. And I think the one way I can define the community in Smash that no other community has is family. And that's always what I want to create with my community. So I invited some of my like favorite ladies in the community and some of my closest friends that I just wanted to have a general conversation with. So we got VikkiKitty. You guys know her. You love her. We got Kiwi, you know her, you love her, and we got Miss Saiyan, and you know her and you love her. And I think that we all have great brands in different areas in Smash too, which is just so cool. But thank you so much, guys, for just taking the time to sit here with me and talk to me about this, because we've all had experiences, not only with men, but tournament organizers, just tournaments in general, feelings,
everything.
It's not fair. And I'll like start with an icebreaker because I talked about this maybe 10 minutes ago before this interview. But the word grill, that is a great example. That personally makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know why. Like, I know that it's not like a serious thing, right? It's like a way of people teasing and being like, holy shit, it's a girl on stream, like, but like,
it really just make you feel alienated,
That's it. It's uncomfortable. It's like, why am I suddenly getting paid attention to for having a chest kind of thing or long hair? Yeah. So it's uncomfortable. And I wanted to know, like, anyone can go first. If you've had situations like that or words or things that maybe, guys don't know, that it makes you feel uncomfortable, that you just want to stop or whatever. If anyone wants to talk about it, now's the time.
Oh, I could go on a rant, but I would
let
them go first.
So I'm trying to think about because I'm always on the camera, so I get like, a lot of things sent my way, but like grill, I can totally see that it's definitely annoying especially when it's overused. But I've totally gotten the whole since forever. By the way, this wasn't even in Smash. Like just since I've been talking on a mic. Oh, 12-year-old little boy, aren't you supposed to be in school, little man? I'm like, man,
that's it. That's it. I've actually.
It's like, oh, I sound like a prepubescent little boy. I mean, I who am I supposed to? If they don't see me, maybe they're genuinely confused. That's cool. Obviously, I'm out here. I get it often. I don't have a very shrill voice, I would say. Like normally when wherever we're having a conversation, but that's definitely one of the most common ones. It's like, oh, like whose little brother's on the mic right now?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hi, that's me. I'm little brother.
For sure. Like obviously, like you get used to stuff, but sometimes if you're having a bad day, it bothers you. It's like you're being sexualized in a way. And it's kind of just like, sometimes when I'm on stream, it's, oh, she's too fat or she's too skinny kind of thing.
Oh my God.
But you never say that about other people on stream,
Yeah.
It's like, you're always designed. It's like, you have to have the perfect makeup. And like just today on stream, like Kiwi was with me and it's like, Kels should wear makeup. Like who says that? Like, it's just, it's like, why? What, like, does that give you an idea that it's okay to say in any way?
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, what bothers me, honestly, like I usually just kind of shrug that kind of stuff off.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, it's just when you're playing on stream, it's like they hyper focus on the fact that you're like a girl rather than looking at your gameplay, which is what I'm there for. Like, I'm just there to play, you know?
Yeah, because if there was no webcam, no
yeah.
one would know if you're a girl or a guy
Right.
or non-binary or whatever. So
Yeah.
So it's kind of polarizing in that way.
does it make you feel pressure to do better in tournament play?
Well, in my experience, like, because I put on makeup, because I do my hair, but like when I do that, I get underestimated a lot.
Right.
But so I make sure that I'm doing my best, like I play my best. And if I win, I win, you know, I move on to the next person, but yeah, it kind of pushes me a little bit.
Yeah, like the pressure
to be, like,
of
a little bit better, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine. And by the way, you're one of the most real like women I've ever met. So that's like one thing to say about you. But yeah, for sure, right? Especially like, you know, when you're with someone like in a relationship, and I know we've all experienced that, who is a top player in the scene or has been or whatever. You know, the girlfriend is always known as the cheerleader or like the oh, you know, she's holding his lunchbox kind of thing. Or there to like his prize.
Chaperone.
That's it, always, you know. And I see a lot of women at tournaments now, and you know, and they're usually introduced because of either their boyfriends or whatever. But that's just because girls weren't introduced at a young age. That's just how the past worked. You know, it's a lot different these days. But when you're when it's introduced like that, they're like, oh, she's only here for the boyfriend, you know, or it's like, they don't see that, hey, like, we actually really like games, and it's something that we're interested in doing. So when someone approaches you, right, as a guy, do you ever feel like they're trying to hit on you instead of just trying to be a friend or welcome you to the scene? Has anyone had those experiences? I've had those.
It sucks that, like, it even has to be a question, right?
Yeah,
like, it sucks that we're conditioned to, like, you know, if a guy just starts talking to us, it's like, what's the intention? It sucks that we even have to think like that. I always just give everyone the benefit of the doubt, especially since I'm in a relationship, that, like, we're just like anyone else. They're just starting up a convo, whatever. Just another Smash player.
Yeah.
But there have been many times where the intention was clear, you know, like my Alex Strife shit. Like, I've had instances with people. So it, you know, like ever since then, now I always have a certain guard up where I have to just be careful. Like, I give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's not like, unlike a girl where I feel safe if we like went to get food, you know, I can't do that with a guy.
Same. So. Exactly. It's so sucky. Like, all my friends are guys. I think like Kiwi, Vicky, and I'm like, you know, I know I'm saying like we don't talk much. It's like literally like that's all I know from the community that I feel actually safe with. You know, it's like if I'm out with a guy alone, it has to be someone that like is home. Like, that's why you guys know my mom goes everywhere with me, and she's always been so supportive, and she's had horrible experiences that obviously will be left said here, but when she was younger, and she's very overprotective now. And she'll always come up to me sometimes and be like, hey, I want you to like just watch your back because this person has been around you following you all day or whatever. And it's like, I don't even notice it. But it's so weird that it is the point, because there are some people who are just either uncomfortable or just, you know, didn't develop the social skills or whatever to just interact or make you feel comfortable or whatever. And you know, you're kind of like the shining spotlight in the room because you're different, you know, in a way. And it's not like I'm going to say like, yeah, guys suck, learn how to talk to a girl. Like, shit, you guys are fucking creepy. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's just, you know, like, just treat us as a person, man. That's
honestly, from my personal experience, I'm like, this is definitely a me thing. I'm very gullible, and I actually I'm very gullible, and I genuinely feel like people only have good intentions with me, and that's my biggest problem. Like, and it's easy to just be like, obviously, per life experience, you should learn how to go about this a lot better. Well, yes, I do, but I'm not going to live my life treating everybody like an enemy or that they have any intentions. Like, I'm like Kiwi, like, I'm gonna have the benefit of the doubt that anyone's trying to, you know. Also, I look busy during these weekends a lot of the time, so like I'm always like, there's days that I don't even eat. and this sounds horrible, but it's just because like I'm working or I'm at the event, and you guys know if we're at the event, like venue food is like $10 for a hot dog, and like
gross.
I'm like, all right, hold up, like I'm sorry, I'm gonna walk out and like get my food or Uber Eats, get my stuff, go to the back of the production room behind the gigantic curtain where that gigantic like projector screen is at, and I'm gonna be hanging out there nearly the whole day. But my coworkers, they're all male. Like I'm used to being around I'm used to being around my male friends all the time, and I don't usually hang out with people that I don't feel safe with. Usually now, the way I go about meeting new people, let's say they're from my stream, and I try to be very personable with the people who supported me on my stream when I did stream, because I don't really stream that much anymore now. But I used to even have like a group photos, and we used to do like a collage. And
Hell
stuff like
yeah,
that.
man!
Be more personable with people, like, but like also would discover as time passed on that some of the people on my stream obviously weren't there just to watch me play, and like I got really uncomfortable vibes. But I would never hang out with people that I would meet for the first time by myself. Unless there was no choice. If there was no choice, it was in front of other people at the venue. I would never meet anybody outside of that, or to get food with people that I don't know. Like, and if I am getting food with people I don't know, I'm in a big group, like with other people.
Right.
But that's like that's the stuff that I need to take as an extra step to make me feel comfortable, because I used to be way more gullible, obviously, than I am, making fun of right now.
Man, yeah.
But like, because growing up, I was an only kid for 7 years. My sister is 7 years
Me,
younger
my
than
brother
me.
too.
So like, like I'm trying to, you're so used to playing with CPUs and doing my own thing and playing, like my biggest game that I play all the time by myself was Kingdom Hearts, and like that was what kept my days going. And if when my sister was born, I introduced her to Melee when she was 3. The best thing that we would do is unlock characters or play Kirby Air Ride or just doing so many different games. And I grew up with the mindset of, oh, like, girls playing video games is normal, because I got into video games on my own. I didn't have an older brother or guy friends. Like, it was just like what I always wanted to do. And I didn't realize, even as a teenager growing up, because I didn't find tournaments until I was 19. Growing up, I was like, this is normal. Like, girls playing games and going to these events is normal. Like, this in my head doesn't seem so different. Then I actually started attending events, and I realized that there is a different way that women have been treated in the events of just going to different tournaments or locals, regionals, etc. So, but yeah, that was basically my stories. Like, per life lessons, I was like, I'm not gonna hang out with people I don't know. Like, that's silly of me, and I have to be more aware of my surroundings, because that's how you get yourself got, unfortunately, and that's just the world that we live in. Beyond just gaming, it's just the world, unfortunately.
Yeah, and not to say that like things don't happen to guys too. Like there's been instances where it's like women have done things to guys, and it's made guys on edge and stuff. But but being in a world, where there's way less women in a very men-dominated world, obviously it tends to happen more for women.
If I could follow up on what Vicky
of course.
Like, I definitely agree with, that's kind of like how I grew up too, where, I mean, in my case, I have like 4 brothers, so I was just very comfortable around guys my entire life who would play video games together. It was nothing abnormal, until like I started going to tournaments, and I would be like the only girl there.
Yeah.
Like, but I would just go by myself, because I was just like, hell, I'm just gonna go because I want to get better at this game, and I want to play. My friends don't want to play with me anymore, because I just they don't want to play Smash with me, so I'm just gonna go play tournaments and compete and stuff. And I would just play, and a lot of people were friendly. The guys would be friendly. We'd have small talk, we'd play friendlies with each other, but there's like always a situation in my case where like someone will start acting weird, or like a little bit too touchy, a little bit like they want to like I'm just minding my own business, and they want to like give me a hug, or like do something.
Always
touchy,
the hugs. It's always.
And I'm just like, okay, that's someone that I don't want to be around. So I'm gonna keep my guard up. I'm gonna focus on something else.
I have to also say something that also was super funny to me, because this is a South Florida thing, and I living at the very bottom, the last city of Florida. you have a lot of different cultures. Specifically, Miami is filled with 85 to 90% Cubans. It's within my culture to kiss and like hug everybody that we see.
Portuguese
And that was
ladies.
something that I needed to like reset in my head, because I realized that you just go like an hour up north from Miami and people in Broward County don't really do that. Broward County isn't as filled to the population with Hispanic people as it is in Miami. Obviously there still are, but like it's just that disparity between cultures was something that I needed to learn within myself, because I used to not travel as often outside of the state of Florida. Now that I'm traveling outside of the state of Florida and even going to other countries, I'm like, I can't just greet everybody with a hug and kiss, you know, like especially now, of course, because of, you know, the whole situation with the world and germs. But it was just something in my head though, that for the longest time I actually said hi to people like that, and I used to afterwards I was like, I need to stop doing that. I need to adapt and tell people like, oh, I'm Hispanic, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to make anyone uncomfortable. Or you also give people the wrong idea, which again trickles down to me being gullible, because in my head I'm saying hi, I'm saying hi to people like normally, but to them it's like, I'm just not used to this. What is going on? She's randomly hugging me and I've never met this girl in my life.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you guys, like, you've seen me in events and I hug everyone. Like, if someone comes to say hi to me, I'm horrible and I'm like, oh my god, hi, I love you, and then next thing you know they're following me around all day. So
like in my case, what I I definitely understand that, you know, some guy just like won't leave you alone. It just gets kind of annoying after a while.
Yeah.
And in a couple of cases, like I've had like a few people kind of like you said, like they kind of follow you around, or they kind of like
stare at you, get a little touchy and stuff. It's uncomfortable for sure. Like,
for the most part, it's been like, in my experience, it's been like, I think just being aware of your surroundings and just kind of concentrating on like what you're there for, I think really helps in my case.
Yeah. Like, I think I've learned the biggest thing that my mom has taught me is just don't be alone, you know, like, like travel with people that you really, really trust to the bottom of your heart, you know, whether it is family or a close home friend, you know.
Yeah.
You might think you've been talking to someone in a super friendly way for 10 years and then you meet them and they completely had other intentions, and that's happened to me many times.
But and it's funny, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But when I started going with Will, DK Will, he started kind of introducing me to kind of like the broader scene in tournaments and stuff. And then, you know, that's when like people started leaving me alone, which is kind of unfortunate in a way, you know?
Yeah, it is, because you're trying to make friends, and then like all of a sudden, she's not single anymore, I don't want to be her friend. It's happened to me too. You know,
But yeah, when you're alone, just anyone out there who's like, you know, just kind of keep your guard up and stuff.
I'll never forget the first time I brought my girlfriend to a tournament. It was Gommel, and she's never been to anything like this. And I'll never forget that there was someone who was interested in me and went up to her and asked permission to come hit on me in front of her, knowing we're dating. And it was like
how do you respond to that?
Like, like, I didn't even know how she handled it. Like, she was just like, how about you go ask her? Like, it was so weird. And, you know, like, being gay with another woman, that's another thing too, you know. It's like, oh, there's two girls together, I could hit on both of them, maybe there's fun happening, you know, like, yeah, you know. And it's made her uncomfortable, like, you know. And she notices stuff that I don't. I'm the gullible one, like Vicky, and it's like she's the one who sees everything that goes on in the tourney when I'm playing, because I'm focused on playing. Like, when, like, I'm someone that when I'm at these events, I'm working all the time. Like, I'm doing everything. So I'm not focused on my back, and I should be. And should I be hugging everyone? No, because I don't want to give the wrong impression. I don't want to. But it sucks that I have to be different than what I want to do because I do love everyone. I have like an open heart. I love everyone. And if you're supporting me, you've bought my merch, you're watching my channel, like that is so nice. Like I want to hug you. I want to say thank you. But it sucks that, you know, it could get someone, man or woman, to think differently. And it's just learning boundaries. And I've learned in the past 6 years that I need to be different and I can't be me all the time. When I'm at these events, I can't go on stream with a V-neck. I can't. I have large chest, and when I'm playing, the camera is at the top. And if there's my chest showing, I'm a slut. But if I don't show my chest, I'm a man, or I must be trans, or like there's something wrong.
That's what I want to rant
about.
about.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah, go for it, Kiwi.
That's what I want to
sure.
rant about.
How do you deal with it?
First of all, it sucks that there's no winning.
Yeah,
you either want to be pretty and then you're just there for attention, or if you just want to be comfortable, then it's like, are they trans? Like, is that a real girl? And it's like, I don't know about you guys, but that's what I get the most when I'm on stream is like, is Kiwi trans? And
always
I get DMs about it, especially when I have a low voice. And it sucks because it's both sexist and transphobic because first of all, it's like, well, if this girl is playing a video game, they must not be a real girl, first of all. And second of all, that's implying that transgender women aren't real women. So it just sucks a lot. I know that everyone grows up in these different worlds where, like, maybe they haven't seen girls playing games. Like, it's true. The ratio is really skewed. But, you know, like, you just need to understand that we're human. It's not like we can't enjoy the same things, and if a girl's playing a game, just leave her the hell alone. Just do your thing, and we'll do our thing, and you don't need to make assumptions or know about her life and see if she's genuine, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That one drives me crazy. It's just, especially when I do well.
Like, baby!
Specifically, after I beat Mr. E, I was sent 2 different DMs asking, hey, are you transgender? And I was like, why now am I getting this question? And why is it even relevant information? Like, if I was transgender, would that even matter? Does it matter? I just, oh, God.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it just makes you so confused about so many things, and your focus is gone too. Like, you need to keep your focus. Yeah. You're still in. You need to play. So for sure, I'm sure everyone here has had situations like that, and you know, beyond. And that kind of leads into my next topic, which is just like, how do you deal with not feeling comfortable? And this goes into newer players who are coming into the scene. You know, there's a lot of players, women, who don't feel comfortable coming into the scene. I get DMs or questions every day, like, I want to compete, I'm scared, I don't want to go to a place where guys are so much taller than me, and it's just a room of them, and you're crowded in them. Like, I get it. And it smells. You're, like, the same size as their armpit? That shit smells. Like, it sucks. So, you know, it's a messy situation, and it's scary. You know, there's, like, guys everywhere, and especially if you are a girl who has hung out with a lot of women your whole life, it's unseen territory. Like, we were talking about before, I hang out with guys all the time, my entire life, but did I feel some kind of pressure when I walk into a venue, and all of a sudden eyes are on me? Or, like, I need to prove myself? Or there's always this, like, even though you love guys and you can fit with them and whatever, it's like you feel a little bit out of place. I don't know if anyone gets that, but there's like this hole in you that's like you feel a little off. Like when you're getting close to a group of guys, it's like there's certain things you can't talk about with guys or whatever. And it's like it gets a little different, you know? Like, just before this interview, we're like, yo, periods! Like, things like that, you know? Like, you know, you can't talk about stuff like that with guys, you know, things like that. But the question is, really, it's, what advice can we give to women and even guys who go into, you know, a place with a lot of women? What advice can we give to people to make us, them, people just feel more comfortable and just welcomed?
Well, I want to start actually with something that really made a difference for me because there was a difference between the demeanor I felt within Versus Gaming Center, which was my first local for Smash, versus me walking into a national tournament or regional. You know, it's a bigger audience, bigger crowd. But I just want to like I want to show some appreciation because my first time walking into Versus, I felt at home actually.
Yeah.
I felt like everyone, and there was actually multiple women in there too, and I
Oh, let's
felt
go.
very welcome. Yeah, I felt very welcomed. It was women who had played previously in Brawl before, and it felt like a family. Like everybody there just felt like they have known each other for so long, and everyone was so nice to me, genuinely nice to me, and I didn't feel like they were being nice to me because I was a woman. I felt like they were being nice to me because they were just being nice to me, and like I would. This is my first time watching like high level play that was outside of being the best kid in the neighborhood, like or your group of friends now in a tournament setting, and I just felt very welcomed. And it made me want to go again, and I ended up going again, and with nobody that I knew by myself because I felt welcomed enough to go back to Versus Gaming Center, and I made like new friendships in that local, and that friendships that I still hold today. That I met my best friend at that local too, so we're still best friends today. And then the difference between that and then going into a national level tournament where there's obviously way more people attending at once. It's like what I feel like other people just do in general, like people from different regions, men and women. I walk into a national tournament and the crowds that I recognize, I naturally will flock to. I don't usually hang out with newer people because I feel comfortable going back to the people that I see as home.
Right.
My region, my South Florida or Florida as a whole, because then you have regionals that you make connections and friendships with. So from there though, the way that I had to go about it going into these national level tournaments, knowing that I was going to see a bunch of people, I was kind of like you, Kels, where the only thing on my mind is work.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I have it straight ahead of me is I got to make sure that I got notes for this block and what players are we going to see in this block? Who do they play? What is going to be that matchup? Like, what stages are we going to anticipate? Like, why? All these things, like what upsets are we envisioning today? Like, are there any underdogs for the region? And like I had so many things going in through my head that like I didn't have anything else to focus on. Now obviously before I was a caster, I only went to locals, and the biggest national that I went to before I even started getting into commentary was MLG New Orleans.
Yeah.
And the only thing on my mind was competing. It was my first out of state tournament. I was playing Peach. I only wanted to get better, and I had a bunch of Peach players there that I actually was able to talk to and practice with. I sat down with Soul and I was like, "You play Little Mac? Beat me up until I could learn how to recover, because all you do is down smash me and I have an umbrella. It shouldn't be happening. Like, what is going on? Like, like things like that. Like, I was literally, if I wasn't walking around the venue trying to get food, I was sitting down and playing, and I was constantly playing. But Soul was from Florida, constantly playing people that I knew, that I felt comfortable talking
You're comfortable.
to. Yeah, so like what you said, one of the biggest advices I would suggest: don't be alone. Be with people that you are familiar with. Now, if you just want to go to a tournament by yourself and you're like, damn, man, like, why can't I just go and enjoy my own time? Why do I have to make plans with somebody else and I rely if that person isn't going to flake on me? What I would recommend you do is know your intentions before you're going to the local. What are you trying to do? So that way you have something to focus on. It can anchor you back into reality of what you're trying to do. What is your intentions? My intentions when I'm going to these events, like I've made mention of, competing and casting. And, I am doing this while revolving around the people that I am familiar with, that I feel safe with, at least in the time that I've known these people. So that's what I would recommend. Don't be alone, and have an intention in mind. Why are you going to this local? And then hang on to those intentions. If you're going just to have a good time, then don't be afraid to be social. Obviously be aware of your surroundings, but it's okay to make friends. It's okay to go to a local just to make friends, even if you're too scared to compete first. Baby steps. So you don't have to feel like you have to take the stride to immediately compete the moment you walk into those doors and you feel that pressure. If you don't feel like competing that night, it's okay to just sit down on it.
Yeah, that's amazing advice, and I had the exact same, honestly. Yeah, just remember your goals. Remember why you're doing this in the first place. Is it to impress? If it is, then you might want to rethink why you're going, It's a little different. But if it's to play, to commentate, to TO, whatever it is, to just see your friends and hang out, like, focus on that, then, have a focus for sure. How about you guys? Yeah, you both were like...
Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. So for me, I think in the end it always comes down to, because this would be the advice for the men and the women, for everyone, just, we're people. We're all people at the end of the day. I think a lot of the problems derive from we're not seen as the same as, like, the men. So that's, like, the issue we need to tackle at its root is we're just players. You know, one of my biggest gripes is when we're called female smashers. It's like, why are we being separated?
Yeah, the list needs to stop. That's the one thing we need to talk about. The list needs to stop. Who's the best female smasher? That needs to stop. That needs to stop. It still happens.
Kels and I can tell you. We'll get to that. But yeah, so the root of this problem is that we're seen differently. Mm-hmm. And I will say it. I'm tired of people saying, like, everything is the fault of the men. The women have a role to play too, in my opinion. There are a lot of women that come into the community like, I want to be the best female player of this character or in my state. No, because all you're doing is encouraging that segregation. That's not what we want. If we want to be comfortable and treated as everyone else and just seen as a normal Smash player, we can't be encouraging that behavior. We need to influence that. We're just like you. If you see a girl on stream, we're just there to play, you know? So I think when you walk into a venue, even if there's only one girl in the venue, she's not any different from every guy there. She's just there to play or to have fun. Like, whatever your intention is, to practice, to have fun, to socialize, it's the exact same for her, you know? So for men and women, just treat everyone the same. That is my advice.
Yep, definitely.
I think my advice for, like, if you're someone new and you're trying to get into, like, the tournament scene, I would say bring a friend, because when you go alone, it's a little bit more tricky to deal with. But bring a friend. You know, I think everyone else mentioned here, like, you know, if you have a goal in mind, you know, if you're there to compete or, you know, something like that, you know, that's good too, because you can walk into, to be honest, I was kind of nervous walking into my own local, because they're kind of small compared to a national. Compared to a national, because, you know, there's a lot of people at a national and everyone's kind of doing their own thing. But if it's a local, that's when I would get a little bit nervous. But, you know, I feel like if you're confident in yourself and you're confident with, like, communicating with people, I think that really helps. You know, you can't expect everyone to, like, approach you or, like, treat you the way you want them to. But I feel like if you're confident, and, you know, it's okay to be social too. You know, you can joke around with someone new, you know, make new friends, as you guys have done. But, like, yeah, that's what I would say. And, you know, I think it really helps to kind of sit down and learn matchups, because a lot of time goes by and you actually, like, improve. Because I feel like a lot of girls are scared going into the tournament scene because they may feel like they're, you know, not good enough, or everyone's better than them or something, or, you know, they have a hard time playing against, you know, all the guys. But, you know, and, you know, you may lose, like, 0-2 or whatever, you know, your first few tournaments, but it's okay, because you can go back and you can improve and you can sit down and learn matchups and stuff. And to be honest, I think friendlies are the funnest part, because not only are you improving your game, but you get to meet new people too.
Yeah, good people
who are better than you.
Yeah,
you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, in my case, I was always there to be like, oh man, I want to get better, because, you know, I just like competing. You know, so that was my advice.
I almost feel like friendlies are kind of a cheat code too, because it's a way to tell, you know, like, who actually takes you seriously and who doesn't. Because that's a flaw to being a girl, is that a lot of people inherently will think that you're not a serious threat. So it's like, if you play friendlies with someone who actually grinds with you, it's like, you're cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yep, exactly. 100%. Like, if like exactly what you just said. If you go with a friend, you're gonna feel at ease. That's the calm. That's the intro. Then you're gonna notice when you're playing, when you're focused, those nerves are just gonna leave. You're gonna meet people. Some of them are not so good. Some of them are not so nice. And then others, most of them, are actually very kind and very, very respectful. And they will welcome you properly and have good intentions. There's bad apples no matter where you go. It could be completely 50-50, all genders, whatever it is. There's bad apples. And it's about finding them, and they will get whatever's coming at some point, you know?
Right.
It's just about finding who's good, but keeping your heart open to those people, because they are there. And when you find those people and train with them and get excited to see them and work with them and go through this journey, like, it's going to be something that you're going to, like, look at and look past and just be like, holy crap, like, I did that. You know, it's worth it. So don't let your fears just hold you back. Just don't. It's not worth it at all.
Yeah, I would even add to that, because it just made me remember something. Like, Kels knows I'm very blunt. So the most blunt advice I can give is, there's shitty people literally everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter what community you join, unfortunately. That's just the reality of the world we live in, is there are people that are going to be jerks, or people you're just not going to click with, or, you know, the worst case scenarios, but they're everywhere. So it might be intimidating to, like, join this community and see people say, like, oh, this community sucks.
Yeah.
But every community is going to have that. Like, if you only get one life, just do what you enjoy. If you enjoy Smash, then join the Smash community. And if you don't like the community, then you can be the change. You can work from inside to make it better.
Yeah.
So just don't be, like, just, it's okay to be afraid, but know that everything will be okay.
Yeah. I love that. The only thing I want to say left of this, I know that we're already, I wanted a 25-minute interview, but here we are at 40.
Girl, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
But yeah, because there is really just so much to talk about. Like, I really feel like we could sit here all day and talk about experiences and things that just are just not good. It's just not. And I'm making this video because it's a problem that I want to fix. Like, I'm just sick of it. And I know it's not going to be an easy change, you know? But this is to bring just awareness to just how people feel. And it's not just women, but, you know, maybe there's guys out there that are feeling really lost in a world of women, you know, or just, like, even, like, people are self-discovering themselves or whatever it is. Like, you know, you're not alone, but we shouldn't have to feel alone. That's just what it comes down to. I actually wanted to end this by just giving a little bit of more advice to TOs specifically. I wish there was more security at events specifically.
Same.
You know, the checking bags is cool when they actually check the bags, but I'm talking about people in the venue walking around. Like, when there's the really big SmashCon stuff, like, I want security walking around. And I know it's expensive. I'll pay the extra whatever fee to ensure that I will be good and my mom won't be worried the hell out of me when I'm at these events. Like,
and I'm sure parents would too, actually, since, you know, I think that after the events that have happened in the last year, I think guardians being present is going to be, it should be a thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Tournament organizers should definitely enlist that when it comes to the rules of bringing somebody who's underage, making sure that their guardian, hopefully a parent, is involved enough to be able to also enforce that too. Because I don't know, the way that I get through bag checks, I'm like, I know I'm in a rush. I'm usually there like 10 minutes before my block that I have to cast. I'm like, sorry, but they definitely look at me. They look at the bag like, you're good. They don't even look inside.
That's it. Like, it's horrible. Exactly. So this is things that really, really need to change. But having someone to go talk to say, I'm uncomfortable with this person, is going to help tremendously. Especially in the bathrooms. You know how much stuff can happen in a bathroom? I've always thought about that. Always.
Yeah, it doesn't help when
the girl bathroom is free.
The women's bathrooms are empty, so you always get the dudes that are like, "Oh, I'll just use it, whatever," and it makes us mega uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is.
That is so weird when people do that. I'm like, can you please like don't dirty my bathroom too? Like, go away.
It's gross, and you feel unsafe. So, like I personally had the best experience when I went to Frame Perfect series. This was the second one, I think. And I felt really uncomfortable with a specific player. They were touchy, following me all day long. It was not ending. And
same person for me, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about. But, like, I was able to talk to the TOs and immediately have that taken care of. And because they were also kind of like a security team. So if we had that would be just so nice. That would be just so nice. Like, if there was a badge specifically for even volunteers, just security, you know? That would be cool, too. I'd be very okay with that. Men are strong, man. Like, let's use those muscles sometimes. So, like, just to help a little bit.
Or at least someone you can
count on.
Like, security or someone you can tell, like, oh, hey, this person's, like, following me or being weird. They're yelling at me. Or from, like... Because I had one situation where, like... this one person wouldn't leave me alone for the life of me, like, and he would always try to get my attention, and like I would try to play, and at that time I did wish I had someone
to talk to,
more security to tell, like, oh, hey, this person is acting weird, like, can you keep an eye on them, you know, something like that.
Just something like that. Exactly, just a little somebody, you know. They don't have to pay for mega security at airport 1, you know, whatever. They like, we just need like someone who's spending their weekend to look around the venue. What are they doing? What are they up to? Who's drunk? Who's making a fool of themselves? You know, like things like that, because it's, you know, a lot of instances have happened when people are under the influence because there's things constantly happening in the venues. And like that happened recently last year at CEO or whatever, you know, same thing. So if we just had that would help so much for sure. But I think we're going to end off this video. Thank you guys so much. Again, lovely ladies as always. And to everyone in the world, like I know that this video is probably going to have some weird controversial comments from people who just won't understand. And like, I want to listen to every single person in the comments. You know, I've had people where I tell them how uncomfortable it is, and then they ask me, well, then how can I talk to you? How can I not come off as weird? How can I, you know? That's also a great, valid thing to talk about. So, I'd never, ever, ever want to cause drama in this community. I just want to listen, and I want us to find ground where we can all feel at home. And right now, like, I know most women don't feel at home. So
yeah, different experiences are good to hear out.
Yeah, we always want to meet in the middle. So we want to talk as family. We should talk. So
don't compare female smashers to each other, though, please.
Please stop the list. Thank you. If you list, I block frame 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna leave everyone's social media in the description if you want to follow Vicky, Kiwi, and Miss Saiyan. Please do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Stay tuned to my streams to stay up to date with everything SuperGirlKels and more to come soon. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.